You know who it is. It's the one and only upset specialist in the house, Thomas Boykin.
Yeah. Always and forever. Who? Mr. Mike Jones.
Our brother Jeff Jones is not able to be here with us today, so we'll wait for him to come back next week. But for now, this is 234 Sports Talk. Let's talk about it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's get it. All right. We're going to get into these playing games. We got two games in the Eastern Conference, two games in the Western Conference. We're going to start in the Western Conference. We got the Los Angeles Lakers playing the New Orleans Pelicans, and we got the Golden State Warriors taking on the Sacramento Kings. Mike Jones, in your opinion, tell me who's going to win these games and why they're going to win these games.
Wow, man. It's crazy that, once again, the Lakers are trying to fight their way into playing in a championship game, man, at the end of the season. But I watched the Lakers and the Pelicans play, was it yesterday, I believe, and they put it on. And I'm not for sure, how the other games have gone earlier this season, but way it looked, man, sometimes you need a little momentum going into these little play-in games. I don't know, man. I like what Zion Williams has been doing here lately. He actually now looks like he fits into what the Pelicans are doing, on offense and defense. He seems like he's part of the team now. But if I'm having to pick a team between those two, I don't know, man. I just think the Lakers might, pull this off, man. Even though the Pelicans have gotten a whole lot better, and they are a team that's on the rise. So, but still, I think the Lakers gonna pull this off as far as that matchup. What you got on it?
Okay. Uh, my take on this is this. Don't get me wrong, great season for the Pelicans. They had an outstanding season. Like you were saying, Zion Williamson finally decided to get his basketball career resurrected, and he's playing really solid basketball. I'm proud of him for at least getting that part together. But in this particular situation, you're playing a Lakers team that's been here before, that understands the pressures of a play-in game. I think LeBron James is gonna be in a place to where he's not gonna allow them to lose this game. Um, I got the Lakers winning this game. It won't be a blowout. I think the Pelicans will send a message back to them that it's, if we're going to bow out, it's not going to be that easy. So I got the Lakers winning this game 5 to 10 points. 5 to 10 points. I think the Lakers pulled this out. In the other game, what do you got? Who do you got with Golden State and Sacramento?
Wow, that's a tricky one right there, man. Because Golden State, man, and Steph Curry, it almost seemed like he got a shot, man. It's almost like that haymaker type of a shot in boxing match. Uh, but I don't know, man. I think Golden State is this haven't really been their year. It just seemed like something just really different. People thought they kind of fell off a little bit last year, and they kind of made a little push late. Um, and they kind of been doing same thing sort of this year, man. And I really thought Sacramento, man, early in the season was taking this league by storm over there in the Western Conference, man. I think when the season first began, man, they were a serious problem. They was giving teams fits, and for them to have to fight for to get to play in is unbelievable to me. But if I'm looking at this game, man, as far as from the eye test, man, I really believe Sacramento will win this ball game. Although Golden State has been kind of had their number here as of late, I still think Sacramento wins this game. Uh, if Golden State hold true to form, they've always been a team that kind of has struggled on the road. But so I'm gonna go with Sacramento. on this one.
In the words of college football Saturdays, not so fast, my friend. um, this game, while intriguing, is a tale of two halves of a season. Golden State, the second half of the season, has actually showed me that they've figured some things out. They've done a little juggling here, done a little juggling there. The only thing that worries me with Golden State right now is the mindset of Draymond Green. That's the only thing that worries me. Sacramento, while being a great squad, has had their ups and downs like any other team in the season. But it seems like Golden State has put themselves in the driver's seat to take charge of where they're going. So in this particular sentence, in this particular statement, I gotta ride with the Warriors. I gotta ride with Steph Curry because Steph Curry has a way of showing up big in big moments. And I think in the Warriors' standpoint, this is going to be a big moment. And this is going to one that's going to define their legacy as a team, whether it's done or whether we continue to push and we're still the Golden State Warriors that we all know. So I got the Warriors winning this one again in a close game. It'll be a lot of points scored, but I think Golden State wins this in a close game. That's just me. Moving to the East, we got the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers. What do you think is going to happen with that one, Mike Jones?
Well, honestly, man, I'll be the first to tell you, I really have not paid a whole lot of attention to the Miami Heat. Not for sure what their deal is. I don't know. They've had a good first half of the season, and then they kind of on track here. Kind of gaining some momentum, like you said, Golden State is doing. But I have watched a lot of Philadelphia basketball, especially here of late. Maxey, man, that guy, he's a threat. And what I think is going to happen in this ball game is I think Philadelphia is the better team, hands down. Um, you know, I don't know, man. It just seemed like Philadelphia, even though they, seemed like they kind of took a step back for them to be fighting for a play-in game. But I still think they are a better team, man. They are. I think they coach very well, also. So I look for Philadelphia to win this.
Okay, I got you. Uh, I still think I'm almost in agreement with you with Philly, especially with the return of Embiid. I think Embiid gives them an edge that they don't have an answer for, that Miami doesn't have an answer for. Don't get me wrong, Jimmy Butler is known for these kind of moments to where he shows out in these kind of moments. Um, Tyler Hero is another one that likes to show up in this moment and make big statements. I still think the Philadelphia 76ers come out on top of this game. Like you said, I think Maxey has made his bid to be a superstar. I think Philadelphia understands they need to play at a slower pace to incorporate Embiid for them to be successful. I think Embiid will have a big impact on the defensive end as well. So I do believe that the 76ers in a one-game set win this set. In a one-and-done take-all, I think Philly wins this game. In game number 2, we have the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls. Tell me, Mike Jones, what's going on with these two?
The Bulls, oh man, not nothing. Hey man, but for real though, with the Atlanta Hawks, man, what was their point guard, man? What's his name?
Trey Young.
Yeah, Trae Young. I think he's injured, isn't he? If he's not injured, I know the last time I seen Atlanta play,
I haven't
he
heard
pulled up
anything.
lame.
I haven't heard anything about injury reports, but
Yeah. Well, I know
last
the
I
last time
heard
I
he's
seen him play.
yeah, last I heard I think he's still playing, I do believe.
Okay. But man, I thought Atlanta would be so far along in their uh progression as far as a team and for as an organization for them to still be fighting, trying to get into the playoffs. They had that one year where they did quite well, and I thought that was going to springboard them into seeing the playoffs every year, on a regular basis. But
Mm-hmm.
they kind of falling off. I don't know if it's the general manager who's ever calling the shots as far as player management and selecting players, but I don't know, man. I kind of like Chicago in this. Um, Not really for sure exactly what you know Chicago brings to the table. All I know for DeRozan, he's a
Right.
very good player, and I think he can carry a team. But I think they have a lot more pieces on their team, so I look for Chicago to win this ball game versus the Hawks.
Okay. I got you. I got you. Uh my vantage point in this particular one and done set, I think they're both not in a position to drive towards the Eastern Conference showdown with Boston. Neither one. Um, this is a battle for me of okay, we're going to get in the playoffs, but it won't matter. Um, believe it or not, the upset specialist in me
Uh-oh.
is thinking that the Atlanta Hawks are a little more equipped to deal with a one and done versus the Bulls. Granted, the Bulls have a reputation of showing up in key moments. This is also a home game for the Bulls. So I still think Trae Young and company comes in to the Madhouse on Madison Street and pulls the upset and beats the Bulls to move on to the playoffs. I think Ice Trae will have a big game in this game. He has a way of showing up too when it's big. When it's a lot on the line, Ice Trae likes to show up. So I'm gonna go with the Hawks on this.
We was talking about the injury report. So yeah, Trae Young, he had a finger injury, so they saying that he will be back just in time
Okay.
for this play-in game. So I don't know if he gonna have rust on him. He loves to shoot like Steph Curry. But I don't know if he's gonna have some rust on him. But like I said, I'm taking Chicago in this, but hey, who knows? Anything can go.
That's right. That's right. So let's go. Let's break it down. In the West, who do you have winning the West to represent the West in the NBA Finals?
Oh wow! I tell you what, man. I'm very shocked right now at who's at number one. That's Oklahoma City Thunder. However, they is a great team, young team, man. They looking good, but something tells me Denver is going to be back representing the West because they are a more experienced team. And I think Oklahoma City has got to take it from them, and I just don't see it happening this year. Not in the West. So I look for Denver to win the West.
Okay.
How about you?
Um, I think I'm going to agree with that statement. I think Denver, although they are a 2 seed, I think Denver, I think Denver's already made a statement of during the whole season that We are still the team to beat in the West. We are still the defending NBA champions. Until somebody knocks us off as the champions, we're going to run as champions. So I do believe that the Denver Nuggets will come out of the West. There will be two teams that challenge if they don't have to play each other, or if one has to be eliminated. I still think the Thunder will give them a challenge, and I think the Minnesota Timberwolves will give them a challenge.
Wow. Doubt about them.
I believe those two teams will be the challengers to press them for a championship.
Hmm.
Now, let's take our focus over to the Eastern Conference. Who do you have winning and coming out of the East to represent the East?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. We did a show last year, right before the season actually kicked off. We talked about the trades that Boston Celtics made in the all season, and we thought that they went more for offense and took away their defense on how they selected players and let some players go. But I actually thought Milwaukee Bucks would be that team to represent the East, at this particular time of the year. But since the course of the season has gone through, and the regular season anyway, I am going to sit and say the Boston Celtics, man, would represent the Eastern Conference. Uh, it looks like they got a lot of firepower. I mean, a lot of firepower. And I just can't see anybody else in the Eastern Conference right now. I can't see Milwaukee. I can't see Philly. It's just a lot of other teams. I just don't see that can match up with them, man. And they are a team that have gotten better each and every year, especially at this time of the season. They've gained some experience. Those young guys, Tatum and Brown, have gotten older. You know what I'm saying? So I look for them to sit and win this thing pretty easy. I look for them to have an easy walk all the way to the championship. So I'm taking Boston Celtics.
Okay. I like it. I like it. For me, uh, I like the Boston Celtics. They've showed me that, should I say, they've shown me that their run is legitimate from start to finish as far as leading the Eastern Conference, best record, the wins and losses, even though they've had some recent bad losses where they've blown big leads, which is the only thing that concerns me is their mental focus. But as far as representing the Eastern Conference, I look at the Boston Celtics to represent the Eastern Conference. But I'm counting on one sleeper. And a lot of people are, well, actually, there's two sleepers I'm looking at. And a lot of people think it's Philadelphia and Milwaukee. Those aren't my two sleepers. My two sleepers that people forget about, and they've had a pretty good season this season. Both of them has had pretty good seasons. The Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks.
Oh, yes.
Watch out for those two teams. They are going to be sneaky good, and they're going to if you come in there lightly, they will eliminate you. But overall,
what, man.
Boston coming out of these.
Tell you what, man. I don't mean to cut you off on anything, but since you brought up the New York Knicks, man, I completely forgot about them. I would love to see them and Boston match up at some point. And also, like you said, Indiana, man, they have played pretty good ball all season as well. Orlando has played pretty good ball. But something about the Knicks this year, man, they gonna make some teams sweat. If they can't win it all, they're gonna make some teams sweat. And I think they're gonna make Boston sweat if those two have to play.
Now,
But I'm still taking Boston.
I'll tell you what, in a head-to-head set so far this year, Indiana has owned Milwaukee. So that's something to keep in back of your brain.
Yeah,
I believe the Pacers is going to make a serious run. I think they're going to make a serious challenge for the Eastern Conference. Halliburton has been playing a whale of a game and has had a whale of a season. And with the addition of Siakam, it's been a great addition for them. So look for them to make a little noise. Look for the Indiana Pacers to make a little bit of noise. So that's what I got on it.
I agree. I agree.
We
Either way it goes, man. I think this year. I think this year. I don't know. I guess you could look at the West because the West has always been competitive. We most of the time we've always thought that the West was a little bit better than the East. Here as of late, but I think it's gonna be some competitive games in the East. You know what I'm saying? Especially now that you brought it to my attention with the Knicks and the Pacers. Then you got Boston, man. So we probably see some very good games, man, on both sides of the conferences.
Gotcha. Absolutely. Here's another one for you. Last second throw in. Who do you have as the MVP for this season?
Wow. Well, I'm gonna tell you guys. I told you guys last week, or maybe the week before. My guy out of San Antonio, Wibbiana, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I think he's Defensive Player of the Year. And man, if you watched him the other night against Denver, he pulled out 17 points. Man, in one quarter, man, if they didn't have that, man, they wouldn't have beat Denver, man. So I'm taking the rookie as my player of the year. Who
Gotcha.
you got?
Gotcha. It's been a wild year. And there have been some people that have been very, very noteworthy of some mentions this season. I like the defending champ. I like the defending MVP. I like Jokic. But to me, who has grown as a player, and he's shown me that he's grown as a player, is Luka Doncic. I think with him having to have learned how to play with other people and depend on other people to score in the system, I think Luka has had a whale of a season and still lead his squad to a winning season. So I think for me, it would do my heart justice to see Luka win that MVP this year.
Has Luka ever won the MVP since he's
No,
been in the
I don't
league?
think Luka's ever won the MVP.
Well, he well might get it this year. I mean, I can't really think of anyone else. I mean, old man, I don't think he's done enough this year. LeBron.
Um,
uh,
the overwhelming, actually, a lot of people have Jason Tatum actually winning this year
really?
with
Oh
the
wow.
Boston Celtics.
Hmm.
To
I-
me, my opinion, Brown is a little more stable. To me, but I mean, that's my opinion. I
yeah,
think
I tell you what, if Dallas goes pretty deep into this playoff, then yeah, I think Luka. I think he should. The more I think about it, Luka should be.
uh,
He's a good pick.
a lot of people was hindering Tatum from what I'm hearing and from other places is that Tatum has a lot of help with who they picked up in the offseason and everything else. He has a lot of help over in Boston. He's just not the lean on tree. He's got Brown, he's got Porzingis, he's got a couple other people. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be a pretty interesting turn of events at the end of this season to see who gets MVP and even who's going to get finals MVP, depending upon the finals. So we'll see what happens. Well, folks, it's been a live show. We've talked about it. We shared our opinion, but we want to hear your opinion as well. So look for us on Twitter. Look for us on Facebook. Look for us on TikTok. We try to fill up all the social medias. If you give us a topic, we'll talk about it. Until next time, this is 234 Sports. Come on back, Jeff Jones. We miss you. We'll see you next week. We out of here.
Peace.